So the first thing I always tell people you need to do, you need to learn your postcard eras. What is that? That's the classification of postcards. Welcome back to SMPostcards. Today I'm going to do 4 things like I normally do in the videos. For anybody that's new watching these videos, they're broken down. Usually what sold, a special topic, which is a special type of postcard. I do some research, show you some pricing and opinions, what I think of them and what I do with them mostly. And then I had a poll go out. It was on, have you attended a postcard show in the last year? A lot of people ask me where to source postcards or where to learn. So we're going to talk about the shows, and I got a little clip to show you how you can find shows in your area very easily with something that I do on every video. And then I got some viewer comments. One of the comments was about the Las Vegas video I did, and she talks about a card that she gets that sells often and real good for her. And another comment, I only got 2, is a new postcard seller is asking a question, and I got a few things to go over there, and I'll give you like 3 or 4 things on what you should do if you're starting to sell postcards. What I think you should focus on. Might be different than somebody else's, but this is what I think over the time I've done it. But first I'm going to go through 26 postcards I sold overnight. All different things, multiple orders from people and stuff like that. We'll go through them pretty quick, and then I'll get into Sun Valley. Now, it's not Sun Valley, just Sun Valley postcards. You need to put Sun Valley, Idaho. When I was doing the research for this, and when I do these postcards, you just put Sun Valley, you get a bunch of different things. So you want to specify for these special topic today, for the Sun Valley, Idaho postcards. And I think you'll like what you see. So hang tight after the what sold, and we'll get into that. But the first card that sold is Yacht Basin and a Harbor in St. Petersburg, Florida. I've sold this card many times. It's a linen card. Anything with yacht, you want to make sure you get that in the title. This is a linen. You can tell that from the colors and the feel. And this was posted in 1945. And it was a heavy, that's a heavy cancel. When they canceled the card, which cancels the stamp, it went through, and they call it a killer cancel when that happens. Or it kills the stamp is really what it does. And back in the day, they would get real heavy with that, and it would go through the card. Usually it doesn't cause, I don't lower the value or anything like that when that happens. It's just part of the history of the card. That sold $4 to $5. Then I sold a Bermuda card, and you'll see a lot of these Bermuda. I bought these at Mary Martin auction a while ago, and I bought them more like anything Caribbean and stuff like that, so I got a good pack of them. I've got 300 of them or something. And I always price them $1 more because a lot of these will go international and stuff like that. But this is Street in St. George, Bermuda. Vertical card, and it's posted. It's a chrome card, and that sold for $5.65. Next, one person bought 2 cards for $11.30. This is the Outrigger Hotel Hawaii. I'm putting up got a whole box of Hawaii cards, about 800-900 of them I've been putting up. And those are like the Texas cards kind of. These are chrome Hawaii cards. Never pass them up. Some sell for good money, most are average, $4 to $6, $7. I've been putting them up here lately in the last few weeks, and I just sold 2 of them to one gentleman. This is the Outrigger Hotel chrome card, and then this is the Hawaiian. Now this is, I got a video coming about Mormon temples and Mormon postcards with the Mormon trail and stuff like that. And I think Daniel from Museum talked about if you find a Mormon temple outside of Salt Lake City, you get more for them. And this card here is an LDS Hawaiian temple, Lai Oahu. So this is the, let me see how this goes. That's the temple. That's a Mormon temple in Hawaii. So that one I sold for $5.65. Both of these were $11.30. So if you see Mormons outside, let me know. And what Daniel said, but we haven't found many of them. But that was one that popped up, and I remember that. Next person bought 4 cards, and this is for $18.60. This is a night view of the Moses Niagara Power Plant. Chrome card. It's not a white border, even though it has a white border on it. You can see it glistening. That's a chrome card. That's not a white border. Even though they have a white border around it on linens and stuff like that, doesn't mean it's from the era of white border. And if you have the little card that I have for free, you can download, or I can send you one of these for $1.50. It has all the dates of the different eras, and the white border would be 1915 and 1930, and this is newer. You can just tell by the chrome and the shininess. But that's one of the cards. Other one is the old dam in White Mountains. Now this is a divided back. I can just tell by looking at it. It's got a line right there. Message on one side, address on another, and that's a divided back. But that's the old dam in White Mountain. Here's another divided back card. I can just tell by looking at it. Old windmill, East Ham Cape Cod. I did a video about windmills, talking about windmills. You want to check that out. And Daniel also said that you can date these postcards by the style of windmills sometimes. But that's divided back as well. Then the last one, what is this guy? This is a Denmark card of some church, looks like cathedral. A vertical card, a Denmark, a foreign card. I probably didn't price that much up there, but those 4 cards were $18.60. Not bad. They got the 15% discount for buying more than one card. Then I sold a boat card, the Shangri-La, CVS 38. Publisher card, nice looking card. Got a lot of those, probably got hundreds of them left. Next one was a Zulu Ola Bears, Zunis. I think these are Native American, or maybe they're from a different culture. But look, they're walking around with stuff on their head. And they're Ola bears. Those are Olas? I don't know. $4.65. Then I sold this one. This is another older boat, another older Navy boat. Look at the guns. It's a wooden boat, and it has a gun right there. This is the Skyauto. That's the name of it right there. And that's one of those prints from the club, and this sold for $4.65. Next one is Before the Siege. This is a painting, Bud Brain, Western artist. This was Before the Siege. There's a cannon, has a little banner on the side. Looks like it's part of some kind of series or something. Sold that for $4.65, chrome card. And I sold a card that is very, very, very common. This is the home of Paul Revere, Boston, Massachusetts. If you've been doing postcards, you've probably seen this. Paul Revere's home. This was posted way back when, but it's a divided back posted card, and I sold that for $4.65. A lot of Boston cards are not very common. I don't think I list that one that much anymore. Next person bought 6 cards for $28.90. First one, oh, these are all the Bermuda cards. So let me go through these. This is Elbow Beach. This is entrance to Elbow Beach Surf Club, Bermuda. Right there. And then this is, she bought a lot of flowers, is what she bought. And this is a passion flower. I think I sold a passion flower the other day. Divided back card. Here's a chrome card of an ocean in Bermuda. And then this is Long Bay, Somerset. This is a really thick card. Real thick. It's got some album burnout stuff on it. And that's just Long Bay, Somerset. It's got some chickens and a lady in there. Bermuda. Perivale Gardens, same type of card. Thick. And then I sold another flower, the hibiscus. And that's from Caribbean. Hawaii has these 2 hibiscus. And this is a posted card. Come here. So that person bought 6 cards, basically Caribbean stuff, $28.90. Next person bought 4 cards. This is St. Peter's Church, Chicago. These are the Chicago cards. There's the St. Peter's Church. This is the New County Building on Washington Street, Chicago. Now this is an undivided back. 1907 and 1900, basically, where you could only put the address on the back. And then in 1908, 1907, they changed it to the line down the middle where you can put a message in the address. So this is an undivided back. So what's interesting about this, you'll never find a Disneyland or Disney World with an undivided back, because Disneyland wasn't around in California until the 50s. So think about the dates is important about these things. But do these grab a lot more value? Sometimes not, most of the time. It really depends what's on there, on thing. And finding a stamp that's worth anything on a postcard, you can better luck playing the lottery. A lot of them are already canceled and stuff like that. And you'll see a lot of listings about that. But I don't look at the stamps. I let the stamp people deal with that. I just don't do it. Washington Street, Chicago. This is a restaurant, William Tell, North Avenue, West North Avenue, Chicago. These little restaurant dining room scenes don't do too bad. And that's a chrome card. And then this one is the St. Peter's Church again, the interior. So that was 4 cards for $18.60. And those were themed Chicago. So if you have multiple things of one card, get categories in your store and people can search for them. This came in right before the video, and I grabbed it, and it's called Axe or Ben, Omaha, Nebraska. It looks like it's a coliseum with racing and stuff like that, multi-view. And that sold for $4.65. Sold another boat, USS Tang. This is a submarine. Patrol result. First war patrol resulted in 5 ships sunk, is what it says on the back. That boat right there. So that's USS Tang. And then these always are good. Redwood trees, make sure you get that in there. Sherman tree, the Muir Woods, all that redwood stuff out there in San Francisco. Now remember, San Francisco is loaded with people. East Coast is loaded with people. West Virginia is not. So with places with a huge amount of people, you'll see a lot of postcards. Places that don't have a lot of people might have some harder to find postcards. New York has 500,000 postcards. What does California got? So redwoods, a lot of people out there live out there and they like the woods, 1908. And that's a divided back, not undivided. And it is posted. I consider things posted if it has a cancel on it, is what I do with that. So that's all the cards that I sold overnight. Total were 26 cards, $131.98. They got a lot of discounts. Maybe I sent some offers. Multiple cards got 10-15% volume discount. If you want to learn about volume discounts, check this video out here. It's the best way to do it. They buy more than one card is where you make the most money. And then my average sale price is $507. So my goals for the year, I want to be over $70 a day. I did that today, almost double. And I am over that for the year for sure. I want to raise my ASP, which is going up, not as much today as it usually does, but it has been raising. I'll never be at $12, $20, $30 ASP. I'm going to be more between $5 and $8 because of my niche. I sell in a category of divided back down to chrome and current. I will sell the real photo postcards and the undivided backs and stuff as I see them, but I actually search more for divided back to chrome and probably more prevalent in the chrome. And that's a little different than some of the postcard people. You got your researchers and you got people quantity and chromes like I do. So that's my niche. Some people say, well, I wouldn't sell cards like you do for the price you do, but if I sold $100 every day of the year, how much money would I make? If I sell $70 a day, every day, average for the year, it's $25,500. And if you put the money in your pocket, that's about $1,000 a month into my pocket. And who couldn't use $1,000? So I'm not killing myself. I'm not trying to break any records. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. This is what I want to do, and I can enjoy doing what I do. So I'm not looking out there to sell $50 cards every day. Some people do. They do very well with it. But my thing is divided back down to chrome. And I just like doing those. I like doing quantity. I'm not a real big researcher. I'll sell a card cheaper, get my money for it, and let someone else go and make some more money on it. So if you see something in the store, come get it. It might be out there. But now let's get into Sun Valley, Idaho postcards. Remember, Sun Valley, Idaho postcards. The search will be different if you don't put Idaho in there, I can tell you that. It's a skiing place. It's a resort. And I'm going to get into some history here. I got some paragraphs I'll read. And while I do that, I'm going to show you some postcards I found with Sun Valley, Idaho. And then we're going to get into some pricing out there. And actually, the pricing on the listed part this time isn't too bad again. People, I think, priced them to sell. And we'll get into that. And we'll look at the sell-through rate also. Let me go ahead and get this here. Sun Valley, Idaho has a rich and fascinating history that dates back to the early 19th century. In the 1800s, the area now known as Sun Valley was primarily inhabited by Native American tribes, including the Shoshone, the Bannock tribes, It wasn't until the late 19th century that European settlers began to explore the region. In 1881, silver and lead ore deposits were discovered in the nearby Wood River Valley, leading to a mining boom and establishment of several small towns in the area. The transformation of Sun Valley into a world-renowned ski resort began in the early 1930s. A Union Pacific Railroad executive named W. Averill Harriman was seeking a location to develop a ski resort that would rival the European resorts. After visiting the area, he was captivated by the beauty of the Wood River Valley and decided to establish Sun Valley as a premier destination for winter sports. In 1936, the Sun Valley Resort officially opened. So that was only 6 years later. From 1930 to 1936 it opened. Complete with luxurious lodge, ski slopes, and an ice rink. And you'll see postcards with all that different ones on there and going through the slides here. It quickly gained popularity among the elite and celebrities, attracting visitors from around the world. Sounds like it worked. Over the years, Sun Valley has continued to grow and evolve. It has hosted numerous major events, including the 2002 U.S. Alpine Championships and the 2016 Junior Olympic Games. The resort has expanded its offerings to include not only world-class skiing and snowboarding, but also golf, hiking, and mountain biking during the summer months. The town itself has a vibrant arts and cultural scene, with galleries, theaters, and music festivals. Today, Sun Valley remains a beloved destination for outdoor enthusiasts, drawing visitors with its breathtaking natural beauty and rich history that continues to shape its identity. The history of Sun Valley, Idaho postcard traces back to the early 20th century, and this historic resort town began capturing the hearts of travelers and adventurers. Postcards showcasing the snow-covered slopes, charming lodges, and landscapes started circulating, allowing visitors to share their experiences and memories with loved ones. Over the years, Sun Valley postcards have evolved, reflecting the changes, times, and styles, while still capturing the essence of the mountain paradise. They serve as the delightful mementos and reminders of the enduring allure of the Sun Valley, Idaho. Now, there's a couple things that attract people to the postcards, and I kind of listed them out here as looking through and doing research. One is the historical significance, as I talk about. It was in the 1930s and 1936 is when all this started, so there is a little history there. The scenic beauty, just the valley and what that is out there. The nostalgic appeal. People went there when they were young, and now they're getting older, and they just want to remember good times. Limited availability. I read this in a couple places. Many Sun Valley postcards were produced in limited quantities, especially those from the early years. That caught my eye. So hard to find. Not rare, hard to find. I like that term better. The artistic merit of the cards. Some of them are pretty good. And the tourism memorabilia, the collecting culture, and people just collecting postcards for tourism. But it's also important to note that collectability and value of Sun Valley postcards can vary, depending on such as age, condition, rarity, hard to find, historical significance. Collectors often look for postcards that are in good condition, have unique features or themes, and represent notable moments or landmarks in Sun Valley, Idaho's history. So that's a lot to take in about Sun Valley, Idaho, the resort and stuff out there. And you'll see the cards here in a second. I like the history about this. I didn't know a lot about Sun Valley. I just knew when I seen Sun Valley, I knew I need to price them up or look them up and make sure I don't undersell them. But now I understand where all this came from. Okay, there was a resort there, 1930s. I'm a little smarter. So when I go through a box of cards, this is now added to my brain. If I see Sun Valley or skiing, if I see skiing, I'm going to pull it out and see if it's Sun Valley. And I'm going to pick it up. Because you're going to see here in a minute why. Sell-through rate is how many cards are moving through the eBay system. Not the price, but what is the percentage of these cards going through the system of eBay? So I calculate it by taking the solds, divided by listed, times it by 100, and I get a percent. And I round the percent up or down to the whole number, make it easier to read. Postcard space Sun Valley, Idaho. There's 117 sold and 1,000 listed. That's pretty light. So if you have a lot of Sun Valley, Idaho cards, I'd get them up there. The supply is not that high, and the demand is pretty good, because if you take 117 divided by 1,000 and times by 100, you get 12%. And if you've been watching these videos, you know that's higher than normal. So I went out and I kind of put them against other resorts or some other touristy place I tried to. So I bounce it up against and see how they stack up against Disneyland, Postcard Disneyland, 18%. And then you get Sun Valley, Idaho, just 6% below that. And Disney sells. So Sun Valley, Idaho is right up there with Disney in my book. And then just Idaho. Where did just Postcard Idaho, the state of Idaho? It was only 9%. There's 14,000 cards for it. So Sun Valley, when you niche down and dig down into it, is 3% higher than just the state of Idaho. Then Yellowstone is another western tourist spot, 7%. And then Hawaii, you think that would be up there in the 10%, 6%. So Sun Valley is just right underneath Disneyland. So that's why I did this video, because these are cards you don't want to miss. So if you see skiing, ice rinks, or Idaho, check and see if it's Sun Valley. And they'll do good. Now, I did find a couple cards that sold pretty high. Now, these aren't going to go, I didn't find any up in the 200s or anything like that. But I found this one. Sun Valley, Idaho, Sawtooth Range Riders Rodeo Stadium, real photo postcard. And it's got the skiing, and it's got the riders, and it's got some stuff down there. So a real photo in an auction, 7 bids, $97. Next one is, I've seen this card, and I've seen different variations of it. Colored ones as well, or close to it. Sun Valley, Idaho Opera House, Under Snow. That's some key words in there. Real photo, vintage postcard. So this is a real photo, $56, 6 bids. Now, if you notice, look at the shipping on these. I wouldn't ship a 97 postcard for $2. It's going to go first class or priority. And the same with the $1.50. They started there, when you do auctions with eBay standard envelope, if you put 60 cents in there or free shipping, and that card sells more than $20, you can't use eBay standard envelope. It doesn't work. It won't let you do that. Whenever I do auctions, I only did them on that real photo auction I did with 25 of them. If I knew they were going to go higher than $20, or I started them higher, I started at first class. What the price, I took 90210 from Illinois to California was a good spot, would give me a good average, and I'll put that price in there as a flat rate for first class on there. So if you don't want to start an auction thinking you're going to use eBay standard envelope and that card goes over $20, you will have to pay your shipping a little bit. But these two cards didn't do too bad. And those are the higher ones I found. Then you get down to the ones we see every day in the boxes. These are not bad sales. I would still enjoy selling a $39 covered boardwalk of the shopping mall in Sun Valley, Idaho. $39. And that was an auction. Then you got the ice rink. There's that ice rink they talked about. $30 for that card. And then you got the motel scene, Sun Valley, Idaho, $20. These things are selling $25 to $30. $20 to $30. So don't be afraid to price these up. I don't. I had a gentleman come in the other day and I think picked up some. If I remember right, I had 2 or 3 in there. I put them up as soon as I get them. If I see them, I'll put them to the side and then I'll put them up. Because I know Sun Valley will sell. There's a lot of safe searches. They sell pretty quickly. If they don't sell within the first 2 days, then I know they're going to sit for a little bit. But most of the time, Sun Valleys go. If you price them right. If you try to price them real high, they'll probably wait you out. But if you price them to sell in this area, I have not had a problem with it. But then you got your low people that sold some cards. This is the ski lift, Sun Valley, Idaho, $1.59. I'm going to let you determine if they lost money on that or not. I have my opinion, but I'll let you decide. Chrome, ice skating rink scene, Sun Valley. I'll let you decide. Winter night, Challenger in Virginia, $3.50. So what do you think? Leave it in the comments. Do you think they could have got some more money for that? Or do you think it's right? Stuff on it. Do you think they got what they wanted? So we're in the business to make money. You know, not to have everything so high price it doesn't sell, but not everything so low you don't make money. You got to find that happy medium. So let me know what you think of those. Then you get into the listed. I take a look at listed just to see what people are listing these things for. These are not bad. This is like the second or third video in a row that I've been very happy seeing prices like this, because 39, 32.50 and 29 is right in the area pretty much where we just talked about. We saw the sold comps. This is the Sun Resort Lodge, that lodge we just saw, $39. And then Sun Valley Challenger Inn, Bird's Eye View, $32. And here's the Challenger Inn restaurant that just sold for $3.50. Someone's got it up for $30. You know, there's homework to do, and you'll miss some cards here and there, but come on, that's very simple to see. So that person, that card probably won't sell until the 350s go away, and I doubt if they'll sell for that amount. But they could, because we saw $20 to $30. Who's going to win here, this one or the one before? Then you got the listing, $1.59, Sun Valley. Then you got the ice rink again. They're listed for $1.95. Then you got this Challenger Inn, nice older card, $1.37. Sun Valley. People put stuff up to make money. You know, I don't tell people what they should be doing. I'm just putting my opinion out there, what I think. They're missing out on those cards. So when you see Sun Valley, Idaho, flip it over. If you see skiing, ice rinks, or whatever, if it's Sun Valley, pick it up if it's a good price. Yeah, I'll pick them up for $3, $4 because I know I can sell them. And sometimes, like I said, they will sit, but a lot of times they sell within the first 48 hours for me. If you put Sun Valley, Idaho, ice rink in the title, that'll trigger some things. So, but just remember, Sun Valley, Idaho. I've stressed that all the way through here. It's something else to look for when you look through those white boxes. We got almost 200 videos now in the channel, and if you watch the what sold ones, and you go to a white box, you should be better prepared on what to find and what to pick up and stuff like that. In the sell-through rate document, all that stuff is geared to get you through a box at an end. Say a show, you're looking through a box, you have a better idea what to pick up that'll sell. Real photos not all sell well, but if you see a Sun Valley Chrome, you know you're going to pull that out now if you remember. Sun Valley, Idaho. Who knew? Now we're going to get into a poll, and I did something a little different. I was doing it different ways, screenshots and stuff like that, and I decided when we get into it, I did a little clip that I'll play of me going through my computer and going through what I wanted to talk about, where to find postcard shows and clubs. The poll today is, have you attended a postcard show in the last year? Postcard shows could be combined. It could be stamp shows with postcards. They could be put just a postcard show, but most of them end up with stamps and money and stuff like that. 22% said yes. 70% said no. And I also put in there, I would, but how do I find them? That's key. 8% didn't know, so I said, okay, I'm going to show you how to find the shows very simply. There's 2 places that I have in my video descriptions. I'm going to walk you through that. But I had a comment. CJ Penning said, I find best deals at shows. Yeah, you do. There's a lot of knowledgeable people. You can ask questions, pull a card out. You want to know how to tell the difference of a white border? Bring 2 of them to a card show and say, hey, tell me about how most of the people will be able to tell you what to look for. What's the difference between linen and a chrome? If you're starting out, postcard shows, people love to talk about postcards. If they're not real busy with other customers and stuff, they'll sit there for hours and talk to you about postcards. And I have to stop myself sometimes when I talk to people because I'll be stuck at one booth all the time. But thanks, CJ. And then Jim Lloyd said, went to York for my first show, overwhelmed by the amount of cards. I guess York is the biggest show for postcards, I heard. And you can get overwhelmed. So you want to be prepared going into a show. If you're new, you just go in and figure out what you're going to do and talk to people in here or ask me some questions or other people that have more veterans with it. But what I do is I have categories in my store of all my different postcards, my eBay store. So before I go to a big auction like Mary Martin's auction or I go to a show, I'll take a glance at it and see how many cards I got in each one. So do I need some Missouri cards? Am I looking for some Illinois, some Idaho? Do I need some Caribbean cards, some Hawaii cards, Texas? So I have an idea what I'm looking for. I know what I look for all the time, chromes, so I've divided back to chrome. But I want to know what I really need to target. Maybe I'm full and I'm just looking for novelty cards. Or I'm just going there, just looking for anything, stuff like that. Maybe I I go there, I'm looking for trains. So have a target when you go to shows is a good thing. Or say I want to go to a show and I want to get 500 cards today. You know, but I don't want to pay more than $60. So see what you can do. My goal is I just want to get as many cards as I can for the best price I can, the quantity, and I'll figure it out later. But I don't want a box of birthday greetings. I don't want a box of Christmas ones, Thanksgiving and stuff. I want chromes, I want states, I want topicals, I want some novelty, different things like that. So I know what I'm looking for when I go there. But I went ahead and did a little clip, as I said, of me walking through the description of my videos. So when you go into one of my videos on YouTube, any of them, in there in the bottom there's a description. I'm going to show you how that's broken down. I'm going to walk you through each section. But there's other stuff that you might pick up from it too, instead of just the shows. But down at the middle of the thing, we'll go to the websites where you can find the clubs and the shows. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip now, and then I'll be back. So this is a small clip I put together to show you where to find the postcard shows. And I thought I'd take a moment to walk you through the description of the videos I have. On any YouTube video, there's always a description underneath, and there's more information, more reference tools that the creators put in there. So I thought I would take this moment to walk you through that. So when you're watching the video, underneath, you're going to see this section here. This is our merchandise. We have a spread shop store that you can get hats, mugs, and this is the coffee mugs I sell all the time here. You just click on it, and then it goes to a third-party place. They ship it and everything. I think I get $3 a mug or something like that. So there's a lot of different stuff with our logo on it. So if you want to support the store and get something cool, you just go out there and take a look at it. But then if you go in this little description here, and you see the show more right here, hit show more. This is everything that I put into every video. It's actually a default. When I upload a video, it has this, and then I add a few things for the specific video. But at the top, you're going to see a description of the video, and then I pin a comment for a relevant video in there, like this one's the 38 best practices for you to click on and watch next. If you want to find my eBay store, you click on this link here. This is the envelopes I use. A lot of people ask me about that. I just tell them to go to the video description, or I send them the link. This is our Ko-Fi store. The Ko-Fi, or coffee, I call it Ko-Fi. Sounds cool. That's where I have a lot of the postcard supplies, sleeves and stuff like that. If you're a member over there, you can get 40% off, which is a lot. You can get sleeves and different things like that. I just put that store out there to give a place to get this stuff cheaper if I can for everyone. Don't make a lot of money on any of this stuff here. It's just a have to kind of when you do YouTube, and it helps people out that watch the channel and the reselling. Next one is, if you want to give a thing to, you can be a member on the YouTube. I think it's $1.99 is the lowest one or something. I don't have any perks. I don't do live shows and stuff like that, but we do have some members that like to support the channel for a very, very small thing every month. It helps out, pays for some of the software and time and stuff. Then you get, if you want to subscribe to the channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. It opens a lot of doors, a lot of things open up when you get so many subscribers and watch hours on YouTube. Merchandise link takes you right to our spread shop store that I showed above. Then here's some links I get asked about a lot too. The feedback removal tool that eBay offers. If you get negative feedback and you want it removed, there's a way you can do that with this tool here, or if you have something else that you would like removed from your store or your stuff like that, check this out. This is a pretty cool link. And then standard envelope, that ESU number that you get with standard envelope, you know you can't put that in the USPS.com site. It won't do anything. Or ask your carrier or the counter at the post office. You click on this link here and put that ESU number in. It might give you some more tracking. Then the fee calculator, that's the one I used in the video. You can go in and put what you paid for something, and it'll tell you with the fees if you made money or not, or what your profit will be. Then there's a disclaimer that we all have to do for FTC guidelines. Some links might go to one of my websites, or they're affiliate links, which means I'm partnered with, like eBay here. A lot of these links are eBay affiliates, where if you purchase something after you go through that link, the channel or I will get a small commission, but there's no cost to you at all. So if you're going to go buy something on eBay, click my store link and then go search from there. I have a list of different people like Adam from Pittsburgh Picker and different people that if I'm going out on eBay buying something, if I'm going to buy $100 in postcard envelopes or $200, I'll click somebody's link, and that way they get a little cut. It's not a lot, I can tell you that. The money coming in every month from that is not really that much, but it is something, and there's no cost. It really helps out the YouTubers. Then you go down underneath here, and it's some of the equipment and things that I use. I broke it out into sections to make it easier. First one's the scanners, all the different scanners, the duplex scanners. Next one is all the printers, the shipping one, the color laser printer I just bought, the 4x6 shipping labels, the 1" by 1" Dymo labels I use for my inventory. And then you get into all the different postcard supplies. Some point you to Ko-Fi, our store, and then some will point you to eBay in different places. But there's links for all that. If you're looking for it, you always know you can go to one of my videos and find it. Next is some miscellaneous items like the MacBook I use. If you're looking for postcard lots, it's already pre-configured. It'll go out there and just click on that. It'll take you looking for sourcing cards. That little wonder shelf I put my envelopes on right to the left of me, it's a bathroom cell phone holder is what it is. It's called a wonder shelf. A lot of people ask me about that. I put that in there. And then the Veridesk, the stand-up desk I use is the Veridesk. The air purifier. And then the microphone that I'm actually talking on right now, I really like. It's called the Rode NT USB Mini. But if there's any other equipment or anything I use you would like to know what it is, just comment or send me an email to contact@SMPostcards.com. And it's real easy for me to reply if I understand what you're looking for. Then down here is a bunch of reference material. First one is the sell-through rate document on Ko-Fi. I talked about that a lot in the videos. The stamp box and the error cards. Takes you right to those downloads. And this is a book here. This is Postmarks by Richard Hellbook. It talks about postmarks. Gets a little close to the stamp world. Large letter book. Dear Doctor postcard website Tom put together. That's a real good reference tool for Dear Doctor if you want to get into that. And then this is a Mary Martin book. She partnered with someone to do this book. It's a good read. And then the ephemera search. This is the people that take the genealogy from the back of postcards, and they're starting up, and they have a website where you can become a member, join, and no cost, and help them out by transcribing backs of postcards. You just go in there, you like that research and stuff, look at a postcard, put some tags, what town. It really helps them out. I just sent them like thousands of scanned postcards to put into their system. And then this is their YouTube channel. They'll show you a little bit. It's pretty neat to watch. It's growing. So if you want to be a part of something that's new, check that out. And then this is the spot that I'm going to skip for just a second, and we're going to come back to postcard shows and clubs. This little part of the description here, this is the chapters. This is the up here. If you go to the timeline in here, this is where I'm actually talking in the video, and there's breaks along the timeline, and each one of those is a chapter. Most of them are broke out as like what we're going to introduction, what sold, special topic, like this one was windmills, poll, do you have business insurance, and viewer comments. So you can always go here, or you can go to the top like I just did. This is our email address if you didn't get it in the video, and this is my P.O. box. If people have sent me stuff like that, and that's the P.O. box. Down here is just some stuff YouTube puts in for licensing. But let's go back to the top here, up a little bit. So this is the postcard clubs and show. There's 4 links, and I'm going to take you through each one. So there's 2 links going to shows, 1 going to clubs, and this is a stamp show in Chicago. So let's click on the first one for postcard shows. Takes you to a site called Collecting Postcards by Shav Levine, or whatever I pronounce that. But look at that. If you live in South Bend, Dayton, Arcadia, California, Hopkins, Minnesota, Aurora, Colorado, Michigan, New Jersey, Alabama, New York, Maine, New Hampshire, just a whole bunch of shows. Oh, here's one for Casey, Illinois. I'm not for sure where Casey is, close to me, but it looks like it's running for 2 days at the end of August into September. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. And they have where you can contact them and stuff like that. It'll tell you the admission fee, and there's an admission fee there, $3. So this is one site that has all the different shows. So let's go to the second one. Let's take a look at the second. So we looked at that one. Let's take a look at this one. This is different. Has a lot of information. It's not displayed as nicely as the other one, but it still has what you need. What date and where. What date and where. Tennessee, California. Might be the same, some of the same ones there, but people go to different websites. And they even have some for 2024 out there. So those two are the places you can go and find shows, and they're labeled postcard shows. Remember, this is the description. You go to the video, you say show more, you look at all the stuff I got down here, resources, and then you go down to scheduling clubs. Now this one is interesting too. I get a lot of comments. Is there a postcard club around me? I don't know. But if you go to this site and you click on clubs, you can find. Let's see if there's one in Illinois that I could go to. I don't see one in Illinois. There's one in Indiana. That's about 4 hours away from me. But say I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's see if there's one there. Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania. There's one in Lancaster, more Latin, and Washington. Rhode Island, Texas. So you can see you can find postcard clubs too. So these are all useful links. The top two are shows. The other ones are clubs. And then the Chicago Stamp Show is the one that Tom talked about. I went there and I met him and he walked us around the show. This was the Chicago Stamp Society, one of the oldest stamp societies in the nation, if not the world, on there. So it's a stamp collector's show. But if you got any other clubs or links you want me to put here, you just send them to me an email. I'll review it, make sure it's okay, and I'll send it out there. But that's where you can find information in almost any YouTube video I have, or any other YouTube creator should have a description like this on there. Now let's get back to the other video, and we'll speak about it a little bit more. So that's how simple it is. Just go to YouTube, find SMPostcards, play a video, pause it, and go down in the description, and you'll find all that stuff. It doesn't change that often, and it's all broken out so you can find the clubs, or save the link, bookmark it. Once you click on it, save it, and you can see those, and check those every so often. But that's how easy it is to find clubs. And I think you can even Google postcard shows. That's the poll on getting the postcard show. I'm going to run this poll again in 6 months to a year, and we'll see if it goes up from 22% saying yes and 70% no. Maybe we can get that up to 70% yes and 22% no. That's what I hope these videos do, is help people get out there and find things. So, but don't be intimidated. Everybody starts out one card at a time, getting things done, and they'll help you. Most postcard people enjoy helping new people into the thing. Now we're going to get into viewer comments. The second comment, I got a little add-on here. I only did 2 because I got a few things I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you some of the envelopes also that I like to use, and one that I don't. But Hope White's watched the Las Vegas postcard video, and she said, I sell a lot of Vegas cards. The ones I sell are usually the longer casino cards showing certain entertainers. Jim Neighbors, Minnie Pearl have been very popular. And I think she's talking about these, Hope. This is a regular postcard right in front, and see how long it is? Are you talking about these? I went to look and see what you were talking about. I just did a quick look on there, but I think you're talking about I call these panoramic cards, the longer ones. I don't know the official name of them. I don't do a lot of them, so I call them panoramic cards. They're just big on there. So if you're talking about that, Hope, let me know. But she does well with those entertainers on Las Vegas. So that's the kind of stuff I like in the comments, is people sharing what they look for. And we can't give all our secrets away, but postcards are just cool. There's just so many of them, it doesn't really matter. But thanks, Hope. Then Elite Supply Bunker. Elite Supply Bunker, neat name. The best supply bunker is what I get out of that. I'm new to selling postcards. How many listed before you've seen consistent sales? I replied to Bunker here, Supply Bunker, and I tell everybody, I didn't see really good sales consistent that I liked until I did about 5,000 to 6,000 cards listed. Once I got 5,000 to 6,000 cards listed, I started seeing sales. I said, yeah, I can do this. There's enough here. And I was still doing the toys and other things too. and I had the postcards in the other store, and when I moved them to the other store and I got up to that number, it just seems like it clicked. The systems I had in place, things clicked, sales were coming in, about 5,000 to 6,000 cards. So that I answered the question there, but I wanted to expand on it here. He said that I'm new to selling postcards. I get a lot of people, because I kind of target that area more than I target maybe sometimes the researching part of it. The people have been doing it for a long time and know all the artists and stuff. I'm more into, like I said, divided back in Chrome, so I don't want to not include those people, because they're very important too, because I do get cards that I love to get their knowledge with. But I do target sometimes some of the newer people. But I added a couple things here. So the first thing, as a new postcard seller, people ask me, what are the things I should know right away? So the first thing is, go in with an open mind that you're going to learn 6 to 8 months. It's going to take 6 to 8 months to understand the basics. Some of these people that are in this channel and I've talked to have been doing it for 50 years, or 30 to 50 years, 20 years. You're not going to get that in 1 month and stuff and know everything about postcards, the ins and outs. So the first thing I always tell people you need to do, you need to learn your postcard eras. What is that? That's the classification of postcards. So you got your undivided back, divided back, white border, linen, and then you got your chrome. So you want to understand what those are. You don't have to get really down deep on them, but you want to be able to recognize those and what they are, because the prices are different for some of them, and also the collectors look at them for certain things. So learn your eras. That'll be a big help. Second, get your inventory together. How do you want to inventory? Do you want to do it by state? Do you want to put a divider in a thing, put 50 per divider, and then hunt through the cards as you sell them? Do you want to do what I do, put a sleeve and a sticker on there with a number? How you ever want to do this? But just remember, as you grow, you need to have a system to get those cards. Just don't think you can throw them in a drawer and have 2,000 postcards and you're going to find that card, that green card. They all have green on them somehow. A lot of them do. You need to get a system. You will change your system. So go in with the mind that this is what I'm starting with. And don't get real complicated with it. Like row A, box A, slot C, number 5. Make it simple. I use number on my boxes because I'll never run out. A lot of people put A's in there. Well, then there's only, 32 letters? Then you got A1, A2, A3. I just use numbers. I'll never run out. But that's how I think. But there's no really right or wrong way. It's whatever works for you. And I changed mine 3 times. So get an inventory system together and make it something that's unique about the cards, or you know where they are. Like when you're using dividers, don't put 400 in there, because you're going to have to look through 400 every time. Put like 25 to 50 in each one. So when you sell something in box 1, divider 2, you pull out 25 cards, you can find it pretty quick. So that's what I'm talking about, the inventory. I got some videos about how I do mine, but just pick out what you want to do. The third thing is, go out and list 1,000 postcards. That means you're going to have to source 1,000 postcards. It means you're going to have to learn how to price 1,000 postcards. It means and when they sell, you're going to have to learn the shipping. eBay standard envelope, understand that. You know, working with the people. So list your first 1,000 postcards. It's going to take you a little while in the beginning. It's going to make you feel like you got 10 left arms. And you got to stop. And you're not doing 50 a day. You're doing like 10 a day. It will speed up. Give yourself time to learn, is what I tell people. You're not going to do this overnight. I can go through this stack of cards here and just look at them and kind of know the price point on probably 80% of them. Most people have been doing it for a while with bigger stores can do that. And it's not because we know more, it's just because we have experience, and experience equals skill. We've been through what you guys will go through if you're new. So just put up 1,000 postcards. You're going to find out what you need to work on. And also, you're going to find out if this is something you want to do. Putting up your first 200 postcards, it's easy. But having just 200 postcards out of 7 to 9 million on eBay isn't going to get a lot of sales for you. These are not toasters, bread makers, DVDs, or the best video game. These are long tail. A lot of them will sit. I've been tracking this year, and from last year into this year, you're going to sell some cards that you list. But most of the time it's 6 to 16 months that a card will sell. Then after that, it just kind of sits until someone finds it. So there is some long tail out there. Then after about 6 to 8 months, and you're saying, yeah, I want to do this. I want to learn this. I want to make this my hobby. I want to sell cards so I can buy more cards. Or I want this to help supplement my other stuff I sell. It's good filler stuff. You know, to make sure the valleys aren't as deep, is to have some postcards. And they're fun to list, fun to learn, and enjoy it. But after about 6 to 8 months, you're going to know if you want to do this. If you do, by that time you might have bought a scanner, a thermal printer. A scanner is going to help you get tremendous thing. If you're taking pictures with a camera, this is the time to think about a scanner. And if you don't believe me, go back and look at some of the videos, some of the polls. Then the thermal printer with eBay standard envelope, and you get those labels, you just print it out and stick it on the envelope. Piece of cake. If you're not using eBay standard envelope, most of your competition is. If you're trying to sell postcards at first class $5 to $6 or priority because you want full tracking, your competitors are not. They're shipping for 60 cents. You're shipping $5 to $6. It's a big difference on the medium average cards. So you want to figure out your price ranges, and then just suck at everything you can like a sponge about postcards. Eat, sleep, and learn postcards. If you really want to get into it about your niche, you're going to climb a hill. And when you get to the top of the hill with the eras, the shipping, and all the stuff you learn, it's going to get a lot easier, and then you just coast from there. You'll never learn everything. I miss cards. I miss things. People come up with terms I have no idea what they're talking about. Never heard of it. And I have no problem being humble about that, because there's just so much out there. I learn something new every time I do one of these videos and stuff. So you want to learn that. Then a lot of people ask me about the envelopes. Now, we just talked about hope with these panoramic, is what I call them. Is there a name for these longer ones? People have asked me that, and I just call them panoramic, because on a phone, or a photograph, you get a big panoramic view, and I just figure that's what these are. But the envelopes for those, eBay makes this envelope. It's a 9.5 inch by 4.5 inch envelope, and these fit right in there. So with my coupon 1/4, I bought a box of these. I don't do many of them. I got a stack over maybe a half a dozen that I haven't listed yet. So that's a good envelope. The other envelopes at eBay's got great brown envelopes. These envelopes are really good. They're really solid. But this is an envelope that I use for first day covers. Anything a little longer than a postcard, not as long as the panoramic things, I'll put that in there. Just be careful, don't bend. Make sure your item fits all the way in there, because if you bend this over, you're going to bend the item. I had a customer contact me, and I did that accidentally. And I gave him a refund because I bent his first day cover. So I'm very careful now to make sure everything slides all the way down before I close it. But this is a really good envelope. Then the next one is like about 8 by 6 or something. There's another one a little bit bigger. I don't use much of that one. The envelope I use most of the time, and this is for the new people or the older people, is the EchoSwift 6.5 by 4.5 self-sealing photo mailer. It's a 250 GSM. That's how they grade the thing. It's, paper. Your sheet of paper is like 10 GSM. This is 250. It gives a little bit there. Self-sealing. Get them from EchoSwift on eBay. I have a link in the description I just showed you. Buy those. I also have in the Ko-Fi store a 10-pack for like $2 or $2.50 plus shipping or whatever in there. If you check that out, you can get 10 of them and try them on there. But these are the best envelopes that I found for postcards. You can put 3 postcards in there for an ounce with sleeve in here. Works fine. The envelopes I really don't care for are these. They're a little bit bigger than these. Not, what are they, 7.5 or something? I don't like these because when you put a postcard in these, they can fold it like this to put it into a mailbox. So a lot of post office people will do this to put it in a mailbox, or they'll do this when they stick it in your mailbox because they want all your other mail in the middle. These you really can't do much with when you got a postcard in there. They don't fit in any slot and they don't bend them. So I don't really care for these. I got a box for backup on those during the lockdown when we couldn't get the EchoSwifts, but I never used them. Now, when someone orders a lot of cards. Say someone ordered, I had an order the other day for something like 34 cards. You know they're not going to fit in the envelopes, and what do? Or if someone orders first class or priority, here's what I do. I have these boxes, little white boxes in here. This one's a 7.61 inch. And then I have a 762. I'll take the postcards, get them all pulled, put them in new sleeves, and then I put them in a little Ziploc bag. And I got a bunch of these bubble wrap package things. And I'll stick that in there. And all this does is keep it from sliding around in the box. It's not really protecting that much. It just keeps it from sliding. And I might as well use them up. I got a couple, I think about 6 cases of these things. But I use those and I put them in a box. And it goes out maybe 4 ounces at the most. And depends how many cards, 5 ounces. So it's about the same as putting in there. It's a nice presentation. Post office doesn't play games with that it's a flat, or you owe more, you owe less, or that shouldn't have been a first class, that should have just been a letter. Heard a lot of different things about that, so I just went to those boxes. I got a ton of them, and I don't do many of them, so I don't lose most of the time on that. And then also, instead of thank you cards and stuff, I stamp the envelopes with that right there. SMPostcards, variety of collectible postcards, 35,000 plus postcards to choose from. I'll update that when my stamp, get a new stamp. Open carefully, postcard inside. No do not bend stickers, no fragile stickers, none of that stuff on there. You don't want to flag any of that stuff for anybody to pay attention to your envelope. You just want it to go through the system. It's got a label, little stamp, and it goes through the system. If you put labels on there, they might stop and look at it and stuff like that. You just don't want to do that. It's not a good place to be. But I thought I would throw that in there because I get a lot of questions about envelopes, and they're in the descriptions in my videos as well. Sun Valley Postcards, Idaho. Sun Valley, Idaho. Go out there and check them out. Just go through eBay and put Postcard Sun Valley, Idaho in there, and just take a look at all the different cards. Really neat, good prices. Don't pass them up. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.